Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to Momcott Ranch and Homestead. Today we are actually in our pig pen, and in a previous video I had mentioned that last spring, summer, spring, fall, we were feeding our pigs that we had in here leftover vegetables from the garden. So when that had happened, a lot of the seeds had sprouted in our pig pen. So we have a bunch of squash zucchini, I'm assuming, a lot of tomato plants and such. So today what I think I'm going to do is, because I do have a lot of extra room in my garden, I think I want to transplant some of the vegetable plants that have started sprouting here and put them back in the garden and see what happens when they grow, see what exactly they are. Because like I said, we just gave them a bunch of different variety of things, and so to see exactly what it is, we're not quite sure. So let's experiment and see what we got. Okay, so to start off, as you can see, there's a couple here. I'm just going to kind of go around and show you, which I'm pretty sure that most of these are probably squash and zucchini. We have one there. Like I said, we have two here. There's one here that I'll probably leave just because it is a little beat up there. There's Oswald eating his breakfast. We have a real nice one right here. One right there. And you guys, the amount of tomato plants, can you see them all? There's one right here. A huge cluster here. There's tomato plants everywhere. We got one here. Got another one. So as you can see, there is quite a few of these plants. I'm excited to get them out there, let them grow, see what they are. So let's go ahead and get started digging them up and getting them out to the garden. Got some good root system there. Put them in my little bin here. This one's got a couple tomato plants around it. Oh, it's hard to say. Oh, I guess I did take some. Okay. We have this little itty bitty baby one. Slowly pull it out. Alright, I'm just going around checking to see if there's any other decent sized ones that we can scoop up. Oh goodness, there's so many. My goats are, I have two Borg baby goats that we were bottle feeding, and they're being weaned, and they're not really happy, but they're definitely getting adjusted to not being fed all the time. But if you hear whining, that's what it is in the background. They just think I'm out here really hoping that I'm gonna... Oh my goodness. What is... I hope that's not what I think. Oh. Oh my... You... Okay, I gotta turn around and show this. You guys, look at this. Look at this massive tomato plant. It already has flowers. Oh my gosh. I am very surprised that the pig has not tried to eat this stuff. But I don't know. Some animals can't eat it, so I wonder if he just knows. But could you imagine? Look at the size of this. You guys, for reference, look at this big... How many is in here? I think there's maybe a couple in here. Oh my gosh, this is hysterical. We even have a couple more. I'll show you. We have this one here. It's starting to bloom. There was another one. Get this little thing out of the way. Here's this one. Oh, that's a weed. But look at this. I don't know if you can see it, but woo! Sorry guys, you almost fell. This is a squash, zucchini, pumpkin, whatever, acorn squash, I don't really know. But it has this tomato plant here. So many tomato plants. Oh, there's another good one over there. Wow. How crazy is that? I really only stuck up to the front of the pasture. You can see where Oswald is. That's the front. I didn't really venture out back here. I did maybe like a month or so ago, just when I seen things come up a little bit, but this is crazy. Like, now my wheels are turning. Now I'm deciding, I'm definitely gonna let that big one grow and see if we get tomatoes. Can you imagine? All right, this is exciting. This pasture probably has triple the amount of vegetables that I have in my vegetable garden. How crazy. Okay, let me go ahead. I actually have my thing here. Let's see. I did see one back here that I wanted to grab. This is crazy, that tomato plant. Now I'm actually going to go around the rest after I pick this one up and see what other things we got going on in here. This is crazy. That made my day. That made me laugh. That was funny. All right, let me grab this one. Put y'all down here. Yeah. Even though it grows very well in here, I'm not quite sure how well it'll transplant, because when I bring it up, it's like the ground is very interesting. Well, I mean, technically I am playing in pig poop, technically. Alright, we'll just grab this whole thing. Grab this. Grab you guys. Some of these may even be pumpkins. We had fed them, now that I'm really thinking about last year, oh my god, the amount of tomato plants in here. We had fed them yellow squash, zucchini, acorn squash, butternut squash, spaghetti squash, and now that I'm thinking about it, I hope that a lot of these aren't spaghetti or butternut squash, because I didn't like that at all. So that would be a bummer, but let me show you what we got so far. Alright, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 so far. And I am going to go around the rest of this pig pasture, see what else we can find, and get this loaded up. Hi, girls. Those are our newest, oh my gosh, they're like rabbits jumping around. Those two were our most recent and last kids born here on the homestead this year. Both girls, and this is their first time actually being outside. I did put them out yesterday, but they kind of hung out in our little run-in area. But today they're definitely venturing out, having a good time. Look at these guys bouncing around. Let me see if I can get them. When you put a camera on them, then they stop. What are you guys doing? Mom's babysitting your kids on the playground? They love this pile of wood. Okay, so we have about 8 squash plants, we'll call them. But now that I'm seeing how many tomato plants and how interesting that this is, I think I'm actually going to grab... Who's coughing? I think I'm actually going to grab a couple tomato plants, maybe 3 or 4 tomato plants. The tomatoes that we planted last year were Jetstar, paste tomato, and a purple red striped cherry tomato. So grabbing 4 tomatoes, it'll be interesting to see which ones are which and what we get. So let me go ahead and I'll grab 4 tomato plants and then I will meet you guys out in the garden. Alright guys, welcome back to the garden. So not only are we going to be planting what we found in the pig pasture, I'm also going to be giving you a garden tour as well. Some things are looking good, some things not so good. We'll go ahead and we'll talk about that. So what I'll do first is I will go ahead and just show you around, show you things that, actually we probably haven't done this in a few weeks, so things are going to look very different, but the garden still looks, in the beginning of spring, usually when I would plant it, it kind of took a little bit. We also had some effects as far as heavy smoke down here due to the Canadian fires. I don't know if the haze from that may have affected it. I'm not quite sure. People are saying that they believe it did. Some people are not. I'm not quite sure, but we are getting some things starting to sprout, so we're just going to see how things go as the summer goes on. So first things first, I'm going to go ahead and bring you over to our lettuce bed. So here's our lettuce bed. There's Lindy being a good girl. Hi. Hi. All right, so here is our lettuce bed. You guys, I have grown lettuce since we've had a garden here, and for the life of me, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I like lettuce. I like having salads. But the problem that I'm having is I just feel like it is just so bitter. It has a bitter, dirty taste to it to me. Last year, I tried to harvest it when they were kind of big. These are already going to seed, but like these ones over here, when they were pretty big, I didn't like it. So this year, I was trying to harvest them when they were maybe a little bit smaller. Still didn't like it. Like, I could usually, you know, kind of woman up and just deal with it, but I could not. I couldn't even, I just couldn't. So, if you guys have any ideas of what I'm doing wrong, maybe maybe there's a different variety. I've tried several different varieties. I'm just not really finding one that I like. So if you guys have any ideas, suggestions on what I can do, please let me know. And I do know that people may say, well, it's because it's fresh from the garden, it's not from the store. Completely agree, 100%. But this taste is so bitter that I cannot even swallow it. Like, I just cannot do it. There's some things that I'm like, oh, okay. Like, when I first started making my own butter, it was a taste that I had to get used to, but I could deal with it, and I adjusted to it, and I like it. But this lettuce, I just can't figure it out. So the chickens have been enjoying it. I just go around, snip some of the bottom, or snip off the tops, and it just will continue to regrow through the summer. So the lettuce, I mean, it's growing good. I just can't get over the taste. And then over here, we have our horseradish. The horseradish is doing good. I believe this is going to be our first year that we're going to be able to harvest it. I love horseradish. I put it on a lot of things, so hopefully we're going to get quite a few out of this to last us, but with the amount of stuff that I use for it, it probably won't last me a year, but that's okay. I did pop a marigold in here just for some color. I do have to get in here and weeds. So that's going to be a common thing that you'll see through this garden tour is, man, she does not keep up with her garden. And you're right, I have not had a lot of time to be out here as much as I would in the past. We've had a lot of projects going on at the house. We did a big staining project on our porch. We had family up for almost a week. So we've wanting to get a lot done around here. so we can have the rest of the summer just to kind of relax and do little projects here and there. But we had a lot of huge projects at the beginning of this year, so I just have not had a huge heck of a time to get out here and weedy around my garden area. So you'll see that, but hopefully this week, if the weather cooperates, we have had a lot of rain as well, to get out here and really tidy some stuff up. So I've done what I could when I'm out here, but sometimes, you know, life happens. All right, so let's keep going. I will bring you around. We have down here just a little hint of beautiful color. I have some marigolds in here. Look at how big this thing is. Isn't that pretty? Love it. All right, so let's go over to the tomato bed. Tomatoes are doing really good. Some are actually starting to flower, so let me go ahead and show you that. Okay, so for our first tomato here, I do have to get in here and kind of prop this up. It is leaning over. I've kind of just been in pruning when I'm out here, but it is doing good. You may see the one in the back here. The leaves are curling up a little bit, but I have faith that it'll come back. There's just something missing. I'll have to read up on it, but usually they say if the leaves start curling in, that plant is missing something. But you'll see as we go on that none of the other plants really have that. So, all right, so we have this tomato plant here. You could see that a little bit of the flowers starting to come up. I've just been kind of coming in. I did take off a few at the bottom, but yeah, this is looking good too. We got some beautiful marigolds for some nice color pollinators. This one is also doing well. I actually pulled these up because I don't really want them touching the ground. I'm actually going to pop this one off. Well, if I can. There you go. Yeah, that looks good. More marigolds. That one I also, as you can see, it's kind of leaning this way. I do have to go up and attach it to that pole. This one is doing awesome. Look at the stem on that sucker. That is doing great. I actually, even though I'm in here pruning, look at, sometimes this happens. I don't know if you can, let me try to get in here. We're kind of V's here. Oops, sorry. Here's the main stem, and then it broke off into two. It probably was a sucker, actually, now that I'm looking at it, because look at, there's this, oh my gosh, I'm sorry, guys. You see this here? This is probably a sucker that kind of just got out of control. Sorry, guys, that was not focusing very well. So, but that's okay. This one is actually the only one, too, that has started to really flower. We have that one in the back also doing good. Have to come in and tie it up. Okay, so we are out here in the big garden, and you guys, huge difference on these potatoes. Let me show you. Here's the potato bed. Holy smokes. I've already been in here once and hilled them. They're just getting so big. There is also, let me show you. We have some flower buds starting, which is a good sign. Some of these are just so tall. I do think I have to come in here one more time and kind of hill it up a little bit. But I am super excited to see what is under here when the time comes. Flowering is a good sign. Get into that process of the potatoes growing underground. Once the leaves start really dying off, then we're going to be in good shape for potatoes. I hope, right? All right, so let me go ahead and show you how the cucumbers are doing. All right, so we got another beautiful marigold in here. Cucumbers, okay. Not too bad. Not great, not too bad. But we will be coming in here as they get a little bigger. I am trying to get it so they get, oh, maybe I can get this one. Oh, no, I just broke the thing. All right, well, anyways, you can see we have a little cucumber. Oh my gosh, look. Oh, hi, little baby. Oh my gosh, love it. All right, that's good. I even see some more down here. We're getting there. Awesome. I think they are going to grow a little bit more, but I do want them to hopefully reach got one right here too. reach this trellis here. Got another marigold. If you're noticing, obviously my weeds, the hay stuff in here, I actually use my leftover goat hay and manure from their stalls and put it on here. I've done that for a couple years and it has worked out really well. So if you see that, question it, that's what it is. While we're over here, let's get to the beautiful jalapenos. If you guys remember, when we planted these, we also topped them. Took the tops right off of them. And as you can see, look at how bushy that is. They are all like that. They are looking amazing. We have them down here as well. Still looking really good. Pretty bushy as well. And these ones too. Actually, what are these ones? I'm trying to think. Because I know there's a tag in here somewhere. I planted, excuse me, I planted bell peppers as well. Where is my tag? I think something gets in here and eats them. You know what? I honestly don't even remember, because I did have a ton of jalapenos, but I also had a section of bell peppers as well. I actually think this section here and the section in the back, I think these are jalapenos. I think these ones up front are actually bell peppers maybe. Again, I had a tag in here, but now it's gone. But you can see that we are getting a little bit of flower in here. Little things going. So that's promising, right? All right, let's move on. This section here we have of yellow squash. So they're doing pretty good. I have one coming up right here. You can see, isn't it cute? We already have had, there we go. Here's another little guy. Oh, we got actually a bunch coming up. Another one here. We actually, when these plants were smaller, we had, I'm not really quite sure what they're called. I think people call them like squash boars or something like that. But they're yellow and black striped bugs, and they did a number on my zucchini plants. I think you can get like what's called like a 7 dust or something like that and put on them. It's like a powdery thing that keeps those bugs off. But when I had noticed it, it was kind of almost too late. I shook them off or whatever. I'm sure that they came back, but and then the flip side, it depends if you want that powdery stuff on your vegetable plants or not. If you're an organic gardener, you definitely do not, but I do know that they have organic stuff that you can spray on it. We're not organic gardeners. We do like to do things as less as possible as far as any sprays or anything that probably isn't as good for you, but that 7 dust does work, but we'll see. So the zucchini plants are not doing very well. We do have one little flower bud coming up here, but this one is actually a male. As you can see here, a male has just the stem of it with a flower rather than the fruit and the flower. So as you can see, it is just not doing well. So I am kind of hoping that what we had pulled up from the pig pasture is hopefully some zucchinis. We like zucchini bread. We like frying up zucchini with squash on the grill. And throughout the winter, it's delicious. So something ate one of my zucchini plants. So I only have 3. But, you know, what are you going to do? So let's get up to my acorn squash. So I don't know if you remember in a previous video, but my acorn squash was suffering. It took me a while to get it in the ground. And I thought that I would have to go and purchase some more. So we had rain for days. We had a few hot days. These acorn squash really did bounce back and they're doing well. So I am hopeful that these 4 plants that we have now are gonna do the job. So let me show you as well. Here's our acorn squash. A little bit of damage to the leaves, but as you can see, if you get in closer, we have some stuff going on there. Even some new growth. Don't know if you can see, but there's one here. And then we have, let's see if you can get in, one there and one there. So those are looking good. High hopes for that. The next thing that we have is eggplant. My husband likes eggplant, so he asked me to grow it this year. I'm not quite sure how well it's going to do. There is some yellowing in the leaves, but some leaves are good. They're still putting on new growth. So here's one. As you can see, look at that. But there is new growth coming in as well. These kind of feel like velvet. I've never grown this before, but the leaves are like a velvety feel to them. So I do have another one back there and a few up there as well. All the same, a little bit of yellowing on the leaves, but still new growth. So we'll just see how they go. I've never planted it before, like I said, so time will tell. All right, so my hopefully favorite part of the garden is our little pumpkin patch. Ooh, I see something back there. Okay. So this whole section in the back is my pumpkins. We had purchased 4 pumpkin starts that I have on the back there. And then I had pumpkin seeds, so I just randomly put them in there. I also had what is called a mammoth sunflower seeds that I've had for a few years. So I'm like, how cute would it be to have these big, massive pumpkin plants and then have a huge mammoth sunflower sticking up randomly throughout it. I thought it would be so pretty. So, it didn't really do so well. So we'll see how it goes. But out of many pumpkin plants that I had planted, only 1, 2, just 2 came up. So we have a total of 6 pumpkin plants on this edge, but I do see 1, 2, oh, that's it too? Oh, well, that's kind of sad too. 2 mammoth sunflowers that are coming up. So look at how, here she is. Here's the sunflower, mammoth sunflower. Oh, there's actually 2 in here. That'll be cute. I'm sure you could probably separate them, but I'm just going to leave them. And then I have here's my pumpkin plant. This is one that I had planted by seed. So I only have a couple of those that had come up. But the ones that I had gotten as starts, look at, oh my gosh, look at, these are what those things are. Look at all of them. But we do have a male one here, but look at all of the other ones that we're going to have start coming in. So as much as I hate to put that 7 dust for those squash things, I think I'm just going to. Like, I don't want the work that I have done in here ruined by my plants looking horrible because of these beetles that are on there. They kind of look like more beetles than anything, but so the pumpkins are doing okay. And I did have one more sunflower that I planted up by my pumpkin area that's doing good. So as you can see, we don't have a whole ton in here, but what we do have is growing okay. And I do have those extra tomato plants that we're going to stick somewhere, and those squash ones that we're going to stick somewhere. And yeah, there's plenty of room for everything in here. So here's another mammoth sunflower. It does show jalapeno here, but I just stuck it here because I did put a seed and I wanted to remember where I put my things. But yeah, so pretty. I'm excited. Hopefully it comes up, gets big and beautiful. I have not successfully grown sunflowers as much as I would like. So that's it, guys. That's it for the little garden tour. We are going to go ahead and plant everything that we got from the pig pasture, but as you can see, it's kind of right now. You know, I was looking back at pictures from last year and how I had planted things somewhat at the same time, maybe a couple weeks before. The pumpkins, the potatoes are doing amazing compared to last year. But everything else is really just slow growing. Like I said, I was looking at pictures and things were just exploding. They were looking amazing. And this year it's kind of, you really can't even see that anything's even in here, but it is the end of June. We really have not had any hot, consistent weather that things like tomatoes and peppers really like. So that probably is having an effect on some things. So hopefully when July hits, we'll start finally getting some good weather. So let me go ahead and grab those vegetables that we got from up front and find a place to stick them. This little guy. Oh, there's a weed there. All right. Let's see what we can do. Oh, the soil is amazing. Rocky, but good. All right. Whoa. All right. 3, possibly 4. I'll pop one right here. Because even though it's close to the acorn squash, I can train the acorn squash to go a different direction. Okay, so we got all of the mysterious squash something plants in the ground. We have 3 or 4 tomato plants to find homes for. So, where do I want to put them? I hear that you shouldn't put tomatoes and cucumbers next to each other. Even though that would be super ideal, especially for like trellising. Let me get back to you. Let me Google it first. All right, Google for the win. They say that you can plant them close together. So what I think I'm going to do is I think I'm going to take these 3 that I have and plant them on the other side of the trellis by the cucumbers. Obviously not like hovering each other. I'm not quite sure. We're going to see how it goes. But Google says we can do it. I'm going with Google. All right, so here we are. This is our trellis. We have cucumbers spread around here. I'm going to stick a tomato plant at this end. You know what? Even if somebody says that you shouldn't do something, I think it's like sometimes people, they call it, what's the word? I forgot. There's like something, compatible gardening or something. I'm not really quite sure where things do better next to certain things. But sometimes I think maybe it's just people's preference. We're going to find out. Google says we can do it. We're trying it. If it doesn't work out, then these were pretty much free tomato plants. I don't even know if this will fit in here. Oh, yeah. Beautiful. Every year you garden, you learn new things, you try different things. This year I thought was going to be my best garden year yet. I don't think it's going to be, but I'm going to have fun while I do it. Last year was probably my best garden year. But that's okay because tomorrow or next year may be my best garden year. You never know. All right, there she is. I'm going to prune these little babies. Take off this bottom stuff. I still can't believe that these came from my pig pasture. How funny. Still can't believe that one that's already flowering in there. That's crazy to me. Absolutely crazy. Okay. There she is. And then when she gets bigger, I can just attach her to here. All right, I'm going to plant the next one down here next to it. Actually, you know what? I think I'm going to plant it right here. And I'll plant the next one there, so it's kind of all like in a little section here. Take off weeds, take off these bottom plants or leaves. This one has the one that we have also in there where it kind of V's at the bottom. I mean, I could probably take it off. Yeah, let's try it. It's an experiment. Oh, that one's really well in there. There. We'll try it. Okay. Here we go. Okay. Last one I'll do. Maybe I'll do at the edge here. All right, they are in. We had 4 tomato plants. We are going to grow them and see what they end up being. Like I said, we had 3 different varieties last year. It'll be interesting to see. These are kind of just bonus extras. All right, so we got everything from the pig pasture in our main garden. We're just going to see how it goes. These are bonus. These are extra. A fun experiment just to see. So guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me this morning. I feel like we got a lot done in a short amount of time this morning. I'm super impressed. So if you guys liked the video, please think about subscribing, liking and sharing our videos. More to come this year. Super excited. And I hope you guys have a great rest of the day. Bye.